Every community has a story.
Some stories begin in success.
Ours began with unkindness.
But we discover that every act of kindness can rewrite that story.
Today, we'd like to share how 5 children started writing ours.
My mom is a tailor. Every day, people bring her clothes to sew or repair, and most of them want the clothes too soon. Some give her a day or two. Even though she's tired, she tries her best. She works for long hours not to disappoint anyone. Sometimes there's simply too much work and zero of time. Some customers came back for the clothes and found out that a bit of their order has been completed. Instead of asking what happened or give more time, they became angry, started insults. Some call her lazy, some call her careless, some even call her crippled, even though she isn't. I stood there, listening to those words, watching my mother disappointed by the ones who are insulting her. Seeing someone you love being treated like that hurts. And on that same day, I became angry. I wanted revenge. I went around looking for the kids of those who insulted my mother. Found them on the ground peaceful, playing and having their fun. Without thinking, I started beating them up. Those kids became confused, and one even asked, "Why are you beating us? What have we done to you?" Those words stayed in my mind. Those kids hadn't done anything to me. Those kids hadn't insulted my mother. By beating them, I wasn't protecting my mother. I was trying to make my pain go away. Looking back, I realized that I wasn't really solving anything. Until one day, me and my friends asked ourselves one simple question. If you respond to unkindness with more unkindness, what changes? Would another fight make my mom feel respected? Would another argument make our community kinder? The answer was no. It would cause more anger, more hurt, and more violence. And that's the moment everything changed. Instead of asking ourselves how to get revenge, we started asking ourselves how to stop the unkindness cycle. And that simple idea became the beginning of something bigger than we imagined. Today, we are not here to tell you about a perfect community. We are here to tell you how 5 children decided to change it.
We heard Blessing's story, and we realized something. His story wasn't unique because every day in our community, people act with unkindness. Some are insulted, some are ignored, and some even respond with more anger. But we didn't want to keep that cycle going. So the 5 of us asked ourselves one simple question. What if we could replace one act of unkindness with one act of kindness? That question became our mission. We called ourselves Invisible Kindness because we believe that the biggest acts of kindness are the ones that happen when no one is watching. We knew we couldn't do this alone. So we went to our neighborhood. We asked kids, would you like to be part of a movement that makes our communities kinder? Some smiled and joined immediately. Others weren't interested. Others even thought 5 kids couldn't make a difference. But we didn't give up. One by one, kids started joining our movement. And after just 2 months, 5 became 86. That number reminded us of something. Big movements don't start with big numbers. They start with one person choosing to care. And if 86 became our number. We believe that it can become thousands. We believe that it can become millions. But every movement faces challenges because it isn't always easy to convince people that kindness matters.
People often see the results of a movement. They don't see the challenges behind it. Our movement wasn't easy to build. In fact, there were times we wondered if it will survive. One day, while we were out in the community encouraging kindness, Emmanuel was beaten up by a local group of children. This reminded us that stepping into difficult situations comes with real risk. But instead of making us quit, it reminded us why we needed kindness in the first place. Another challenge came when we invited every child in the community to join the movement. Some of those children were involved in harmful activities like selling drugs. We had a choice, either to leave them behind or to believe they could change too. We chose to believe in them because if kindness is only for the people who make good decisions, then it really doesn't change anything. We wanted to document the act of kindness to inspire others. Some of those people weren't really comfortable in front of a camera. Others thought people will judge them. Some worried. Others will say they were just doing it to get attention. We respected their decision. That taught us one important lesson. Kindness doesn't become more valuable when a camera is watching. Its true value comes from the choice itself. Every challenge reminded us that changing our community takes time, patience, and courage. And when the road seemed difficult, we kept moving forward.
In our movement, every story began with unkindness, but ended with kindness. One child told us she saw a bus conductor shouting at a woman carrying heavy groceries because she was taking too long to get off the bus. The woman looked embarrassed and close to tears. After the bus left, the child walked over, carried the woman's groceries home, and reminded her that kindness still exists. Another child saw a boy being laughed at because his school shoes were too old and worn out. Instead of joining the laughter, he invited the boy to play football with his friend and spent the evening talking and laughing with him. That boy later said it was the first time in weeks he felt accepted. Another child also saw two neighbors arguing over a small misunderstanding. Everybody gathered to watch, but nobody tried to calm the situation. And so the boy stepped up with a handwritten note that simply said, "Kindness brings people together." That's what invisible kindness is all about. Choosing to become the beginning of something better.
When we started Invisible Kindness, we thought we were starting a movement for children, but we were wrong. As more children began choosing kindness, something unexpected happened. Parents started noticing. Adults asked us what we were doing. Teachers encouraged our message. And even neighbors started sharing their own act of kindness. Slowly, alone from children, the movement started belonged to the whole community. That was something that we'll never forget. People say children are the future, But children can also shape the present. We don't have to wait until you're older to make a difference. Sometimes all it takes is one child making one kind choice, and then another child follows, and then a parent notices, and then a family changes, and then a neighborhood changes, and that's how communities grow from the ground up. Today, our movement includes 86 children. But our dream has never been about a number. Our dream is that kindness becomes something people choose, even when nobody is watching. Before we leave this stage, we like to leave with one question. What if communities were not changed by one extraordinary person, but by one ordinary person choosing to do extraordinary things each and every single day?
Our story began with pain.
It grew through courage.
It survived because people choose hope over fear.
It continues because kindness inspires kindness.
Now, the next chapter belongs to all of us.
If 5 children can inspire a community,
Imagine what all of us can do together. Thank you.